Minnesota is in the house. Good morning. It's Tuesday. How you doing? Good to see you guys. All right, welcome into the show. Here we go. All right, so today what I wanted to talk to you about is the one food choice that could protect your brain from Alzheimer's. And do you know what it is? Okay, we're going to talk about this because it's very near and dear to my heart. If you guys know anything about my story, and you may or may not, okay, so just track for a second. But when it comes to dementia, so my mother ended up having dementia. We took care of her for 5 years. And, we didn't see it coming. I don't know if anybody else has felt this way where what's the rise of Alzheimer's? What's the rise? Why do we have a memory care facility on every exit ramp in the cities, right? It's a lot, right? Memory care is everywhere. And this has been a big part of my life because of my mother. So I wanted to talk to you about that. So housekeeping for today before we dive right in to the topic is let's see, tomorrow the magnesium is launching. Oh, you guys, I've literally been waiting a year for this launch, a year. And then I found out in December that it was launching in March. And then in January, I found out it was March 19th. And tomorrow is March 19th. So I'm very, very excited about it. It's hard to find a really good blend, especially one that has purity, efficacy, and this is marine sourced. So I'm just telling you, and I was a little shockarooed by the price. I thought it was going to be much higher. It's not super competitive. I did a ton of research on it last night, yesterday, and it doesn't matter. I'm doing a presentation for our business team. So I was actually really super competitive with the pricing, $34. $34. Unbelievable for what you're getting. We'll do that another day. And that's all I have for housekeeping today. So don't miss out on the launch. If you want to get in on the first to know list, you think you'll forget or whatever, you're just passing by my content, just breezing through, and you want to know about a really good magnesium that's launching. On my site, KirstenLiebelt.com, my first last name.com, right at the top, name, email, send. That's all you have to do. You'll get on the list. You'll get a notification tomorrow. Okay, so it's so good to see you guys. I just have so much on my heart. So the reason why I'm doing this one today is, number one, because I have a wonderful listener who sent me some information. And this is some information from Dr. Daniel Amen, who was recently going over a study, something like that. He didn't cite the study in the reel, but this is very fascinating. And I think it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people, even giving you here. I wanted to expand the teaching a little bit to give you some symptoms of maybe what you could be paying attention to. So how does that sound? And the second reason why I'm doing this is because I know that y'all, we get together and we talk about weight loss and we talk about losing inches and we want to have a different size for summer. Listen, I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. I get it. Who doesn't want to change sizes? Raise your hand if you're just perfect. And there are some of you that do. You text me and you tell me, listen, I don't have 1 pound to lose, but I have fatty liver, or I had PCOS, or I know that my insulin is higher, my sugars, I can't get my sugars under control. So you do not have to be, overweight to have blood sugar issues. However, a lot of us do. And so we talk about the weight a lot because it's a good gateway to get people to deal with their health, because we want to shop a different size. Okay. Today, I'm going to go just a tad bit more serious, because the fallout of not dealing with stuff is actually way more important. Not way more important. It's just a different kind of importance. How does that sound? The weight matters, don't get me wrong, but it is the things that maybe we didn't see coming or we don't have a real grid on. I mean, my dad, he had all of the heart surgeries and the heart attacks and the quadruple bypass surgeries, the kidney dialysis and the puking and all of the things. And then he died at 63. That was type 2 diabetes. You're welcome. That's thanks for passing by, and it just kicks you in the butt on the way out the door. Okay. Yesterday I found out somebody in my universe, they are losing toes and part of a foot. to diabetes. Okay. So the fallout is for real. Like, we got to get our shiz together. Okay. We have to, at some, every now and then, we have to get like a little serious and we have to go, oh, that's still happening in 2025? Yes. Yes, it is. Did you know that? Did you know that you can lose toes and feet? Did you know? My grandpa, he was Italian, 100% Italian. He came from Italy. He was actually a prisoner of war in World War I. Came here to the United States, blah, blah, blah. We, obviously we settled then in Minnesota. And he ended up blind from type 2 diabetes and in a wheelchair. That is the memory of my grandpa Fragali. I was 9 years old. He died on my birthday. Isn't that crazy? He died on my birthday. And I don't know. Just don't think I ever processed my life. Is it just me, people? Is it just me? But I mean, I never really thought about the fact that, oh yeah, he was blind because of type 2 diabetes. Like, yeah, like maybe I knew it, but I wasn't really like processing that. But it's the same thing with my dad. And, I remember after my dad died, my mom said it wasn't going to be very long before my dad had lost toes. I remember her talking about that. And he, he had so many sores on his legs that never healed. And that's what type 2 diabetes does. Okay. So now we're going to take it one step further today. And then at the very end, I'm going to give you just a handful of, I plucked 3 or 4 testimonies. Okay. I just plucked them because there are so many of them that would have to do with people losing weight, people like getting off of meds, people doing all sorts of things. I just plucked 3 or 4 of them for you this morning because I thought I used to do this a lot. I used to always bring testimonies whenever we did a live, and I haven't done that. I've been whatever, doesn't matter. I've been seeing some of my older content that's coming up on my memories, blah, blah, blah. And so I want to make sure that we go back to, listen, you have got to have hope. You have to have somebody tell you this is turnaroundable. You actually can. Does it maybe even take more than I'm not seeing any comments on Instagram, by the way. So just to let you know, I can tell something's wonky on Instagram. So I apologize. My point being though, if you never think that it can be turned around with intention and certain steps, and when done properly, when done correctly, it's literally turning it around the right way. Okay. That's just my opinion. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So let's get started on the whole Alzheimer's thing. Welcome in from TikTok, you guys. It is so, so good to see you. All right, here we go. Get my notes up. Here we go. I just want you to know that, let's say your journey takes a full year for you to really get a grasp. Let's just say it takes you a full year. Let's say it takes you to change out your foods, like me, 3 to 4 years. Let's say it does. What does it matter? Why are you counting the weeks and the months? Why? What does it matter? If you avoid anything of what we ever talk about, was it not worth the time? Was your time not valuable enough to invest? Like, I am sorry. Today's one of those days. I got really ticked off by some news yesterday. Really, really pisses me off that people are still in 2025 losing appendages to type 2 diabetes. This is stupid. It's a diet-related disease. The medical community, in my opinion, has completely failed us. Oh, it just ticks me off. Anyway, we're going to talk about Alzheimer's because that was then the closest thing that also happened to me with my mom. Didn't see it coming. Her mom, Swedish, playing Scrabble till she died, sharp as a tack. That was my grandma. Okay. And we thought, well, that would be my mother. Oh, no. You see, all of the type 2 diabetes and the obesity that was in my Italian family, because it's actually, okay, you can have genetic dispositions, blah, blah, blah. All of the issues of type 2 diabetes and obesity that were learned food behaviors in my family was all adopted by my mother. So my mother, who probably never had any type 2 in her family, ended up becoming a total carbaholic, a type 2 diabetic with Alzheimer's. Oh, happy day. Are we done now, people? Are we freaking done? So we're going to talk about it because this is really a good topic. Here we go. All right. So if you knew that there was a way, to dramatically lower your risk of Alzheimer's, would you do it? Would you do it? Put yes or no in the comments. I'd love to know, because sometimes we're just not thinking big enough as to what the results could be if we didn't. This is personal for me because I've seen firsthand how high blood sugar damages the body and the brain with my mama. So we have to talk about this. Okay. So this is the shocking research on diet and Alzheimer's. This is coming from Dr. Daniel Amen he's talking on a reel about a study. Okay. And this is what the study showed. I don't have the study for reference. I apologize. Fat-based diet, Mediterranean or keto, okay, which is what I teach. I teach keto, right? 42% lower risk of Alzheimer's. 42%. Now, I remember when my mom, with her dementia situation, and we did a lot of different things with her in that 5 years. She was in independent living. I quit my job. I became her assisted living. We moved her into assisted living. COVID came. We pulled her out. She lived with my sister. She lived with me. We had many different things going on. But during those 5 years, we were investigating all these different paths and avenues, because that's what you have to do. Like you're like assessing. This is your life. And so one of the times that I went to a memory care to tour a memory care. And there were a lot of elderly people in a circle, and they were, I don't know, singing songs and doing something, an activity. And I noticed that literally it was all women and like maybe one guy. And it just triggered me in the moment. And I said, what's the deal? Like, what's with all the women? Like, why is there only one guy? And the nurses both said at the exact same time. Now, this is not a scientific answer for anybody or anything like that, but this was the first time that I had heard it like this. And they both, without skipping a beat, they go, oh, low fat diet. What? That's not being told to me by a doctor. What? They're like, oh yeah, all the low fat diets for the women. Like, yeah, because your brain is, fat, needs fat. What? So we don't think this way all the time, right? And we have to start changing the way. Listen, whatever has been happening, it's not working. Not working, broken, not working. We've got to figure it out, right? Oh, I can see. Oh, no, I can't. I still can't see stuff on Instagram. Sorry, you guys. So we do have to change. Good morning, Sharon. Good to see you. Very good to see you. So fat-based diet, Mediterranean or keto, 42% lower risk. Don't you want to know that? I think you want to know that. Now, let's go further though. Like a caveman or a paleo was 21% lower risk. Okay, so paleo, 21% lower risk, which is more like paleo would be like Whole30. Is that the name of that particular diet that people do, Whole30? Thank you for following. Is it Kirsten? It is Kirsten. I never see Kirsten. Hi, I'm Kirsten, Kirsten. It's so nice to meet you. I usually don't see my own name. It's like the American Girl doll. But anyway, so paleo, I probably not knowing any terminology at all. Like I knew nothing. Basically, when I started to switch out my foods, I decided I had to get rid of processed foods. I probably went more paleo. It wasn't enough to turn back my insulin resistance and lose the 3 sizes. It wasn't enough for me. I was like eating way too many sweet potatoes and butternut squash. And okay, you get the drift. Like I love starchy vegetables. So anyway, so Mediterranean or keto, 42% lower risk. More of the caveman paleo, 21% lower risk. Standard American diet. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Are you ready? OMG. Standard American diet, meaning high carb, high sugar. Listen, you guys, it's what got us into the pickle to begin with. If you're on my content and you are insulin resistant, this is the piece you have to turn around, okay? 400% higher risk of Alzheimer's. 400. That's not a small difference. You guys, that's life-changing information. That's life-changing information. So diabetes type 3, this is what it is, insulin resistance of the brain. So sugar and simple carbs spike blood sugar, which leads to insulin resistance over time, which is creating brain inflammation. Okay, so that's where this is coming from. High blood sugar makes blood vessels more brittle, and that means that they're more prone to breakage. Okay, so if you have an increased risk of stroke, having a stroke increases Alzheimer's risk 10 times. 10 times. Now, let's get to some of the early warning signs that your brain might be at risk, okay? And of course, this is not all-encompassing, and this is pretty streamlined, basic information, right? So it doesn't mean that you do have, like you are going to get Alzheimer's tomorrow. It just means that we need to start paying attention and we need to do things differently than what we've been taught because we've been given really trash information. And it's time that we stand up and we say, we are not going to listen to you, medical provider, who tells me, and I'm not type 2, but who tells me as a type 2 diabetic that I can have 45 grams of carbs at every single meal. Shut up. That is not true. That will keep me medicated. That will keep me on a path of getting worse and still having to live with the fallout of diabetes. We need to tell them no more. If your doctor is telling you that trash, I'm sorry. In my opinion, just as your friend having a cup of coffee with you, I should have had a cup of coffee. Change doctors. Get a new one. Boy, oh boy, it just ticks me off. Again, let's go back to the beginning. I found out yesterday that somebody in my sphere of knowledge is losing toes. Actually, no, lost toes, is losing a partial foot to a surgery. Surgery is soon. Okay, so is this still happening in 2025? Yep, abso-freaking-lutely. Still happening. Should not be diet related, not genetic. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Not terminal, not a given just because you have a predisposition. Turnaroundable until it's not. Okay, so this is why we're doing this. All right, so before Alzheimer's takes hold, your body warns you. Here's what to watch for. Okay. Brain fog, forgetfulness, and trouble focusing. Okay, brain fog, forgetfulness, and trouble focusing. Number 2, mood swings, depression, and anxiety. Number 3, midsection weight gain, belly fat, insulin resistance. That's why I get so excited about the orange pixie stick. That's why I get so excited about the products that I talk about because I started them a little over 10 years ago, and I know what can be turned around. I'll give you some testimonies here in just a few minutes, just of blood sugars and stuff. Oopsie, sorry, made a big noise on my microphone. Sorry about that. Number 4, poor sleep, and you're waking up tired. Like, oh, what in the world? Number 6, is that 6, 3, 4, 5, cravings for sugar and carbs. We talk about this one a lot, where you're just chasing carbs. It's because your body is chasing energy, also known as chasing energy. So you're not chasing carbs because you're a lame diet loser or that you're just an addicted loser. Your body is telling you something. It's telling you that you need energy. And the last one is slow healing from cuts or injuries. So that's the one that I was paying attention to. I did a phone consult last week and I was talking about this, and I said, she was saying she is, afraid to go and get results at a doctor. And I said, join the club. Like, how do you even think I started this whole supplementing journey? Because I was not willing to go to the doctor. My mother would not stop bugging me about my sugars because my dad died when I was 30 of type 2 diabetes. And she was constantly hounding me and on me about it. And, but instead, what I was doing was that when it says slow healing from cuts or injuries, I was monitoring that for myself. Because my dad, he would have his pants rolled up all the way to his knees, and he would have the aluminum bowl from the kitchen, probably the popcorn bowl. Now that I think about it, he probably should have had his own bowl. Okay, never mind. But we just didn't do that. Anyway, the throw up bowl was the popcorn bowl, was the feet soaking bowl. I'm sorry. Was anybody else's childhood like this? Was it just mine? I mean, I know that sounds so disgusting, but that's just the way it was. Okay, probably still today. Anyway, my point being that Claudette, you cannot seem to get your conversation. It keeps breaking up and bad connection. A Wi-Fi issue. Thank you for telling me, Claudette. I have no way of checking that. Shnikey. I'm going to have to trust that the replay will sound itself. Hate that. Seems to be doing really well on Instagram, so I'm glad for that. I'm going to keep going though. Thank you for the Patty, Carol. Thank you so much, Carol, for all of the likes. Thank you, Susie, for following. You guys are awesome. Facebook is froze on me, so I'm here. Good morning. Okay, so it is freezing. I'm glad that you're jumping over. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes you just can't fix the Wi-Fi situation in life. Doggone it. Thank you for jumping over. Okay, so let's just keep going. So my dad would roll up his pants, and he would soak his feet in Epsom salts, but then you could see all the sores on his legs that were not healing. So when I was in my upper 40s, and I knew my body was like, I had started my insulin resistance in my 20s. I had signs my entire life. Frozen shoulder when I was 50. Like, I had so many signs. But I didn't want to know certain things. So if you are having slow healing from cuts or injuries, that's one sign. Cravings for sugar and carbs, poor sleep, waking up tired, midsection weight gain, insulin resistance. If you already know you're insulin resistant, that by itself is a sign of potential concern later on for Alzheimer's. Mood swings, depression, anxiety, brain fog, forgetfulness, and trouble focusing. So what can you do to protect your brain? Well, number one, you can switch to a healthy fat-based diet, one that has avocados and olive oil, fish and nuts, things like that. I'll tell you what I focus on here in just a second. Cut out sugar and refined carbs. That is like 101. You have to stop what is creating these issues with us. So bread, pasta, rice, juice, dessert. You have to start turning things back, okay? It's literally like poison to your body. It's literally poison. So support your blood sugar and your brain health with things like omegas, omega-3s. Like I have in my line, I have a wild caught fish oil. Like it's super cheap. I'm trying to even remember the price. It's wild caught. And like, if you're going to buy wild caught fish in the grocery store to eat, make sure it is the same in your supplementation. Like I tell people, listen, I understand I'm only one option. You don't have to purchase from me or through me. However, if you just want to know that everything is third-party tested and you don't want to think about it and that they're actually doing wild caught fish, check out my prices because you'll be shocked. A magnesium, that's launching tomorrow, and it's marine sourced, and they have an added olive extract, polyphenols, high antioxidant for your heart added in. I don't know of another blend that has that at all, literally at all, totally set apart. That's what made me really shocked that the price was only $34. Okay. And then gut support. And you know how we talk about your gut. In fact, yesterday I just had a conversation with somebody who she needs to slow down to speed up, because even though you know how we talk about the trio, okay, the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is where I started. a little over 10 years ago, right? These three, right? Okay. In doing that for her, she recognizes that she has a larger issue in her gut. So it's like, okay, let's slow down for a minute and let's have you then think about instead, let's just back up. Let's do the gut primer and the probiotic. Because if you have leaky gut from your insulin resistance, that's how this happens. It's one of the ways that you end up with leaky gut is insulin resistance. You are spilling nutrients over the side of the boat. You're just spilling nutrients, just pew, pew. You're not absorbing from your food or your supplementation. So sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. So you can support your blood sugar and your brain health by using magnesium, omega-3s, and gut support. These are very, very helpful for supporting your blood sugar and your brain health. And then get quality sleep, of course. We talk about that a lot. Yesterday, we talked about magnesium and how much it helps your sleep, taking it at night. And even tonight, when I do my presentation to the business team, I'm going to be talking about not just the magnesium, but also adding in that ashwagandha. And I mentioned that yesterday. But ashwagandha, I'm trying to remember, like on my PowerPoint, it says that magnesium is supporting your physical body to relax, and the ashwagandha is supporting your mind to relax. So when you take ashwagandha, and I take 2 every night before I go to bed, sleep, stress, and mood. Sleep, stress, and mood. Okay? So that's how that works. Hold on. I'm going to see if anybody else is, yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know if Facebook got better at all. So we'll find out when I'm done, and I'll have to see. But what I do want to do is, just before I jump off today, I want to give you a little bit of hope, okay? Let's give you a little bit of hope. Thank you for all the hearts. I so appreciate you guys. Oh man, 36 new messages. Hold on. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, very, very good. I just, every once in a while, it's not very often, because, we have a lot of fun here. I like to have a lot of fun. I'd rather laugh and talk about things that are only happy all the time. But I'm telling you what, when I got that news yesterday about somebody having now part of their foot removed after having part of their toes removed, it really ticked me off. And then when I see this information, like on Alzheimer's, which is what we're talking about today, like, this is just ridiculous. We have to stop. We have to make decisions that are different than what we're doing. So if all you're doing is listening to standard advice from your provider, and you're going into surgery to have part of your foot removed, but potentially, and not this person at all, because I don't know the details on this at all. But potentially you're saying, but I'm doing everything they're telling me to do. I'm eating healthy. I'm following their guidelines. Make the connection. Make the connection. Oh, their guidelines aren't working. Okay. You have to get down your sugars. You have to get down your insulin. You have to get your body to function. Come on. You cannot blame the car that's not working anymore on the mechanic. You can't do that. You have to actually take control yourself and get different results for yourself. I say by yourself, meaning nobody can do it for you, but I'll be along the way. I'll be along the journey. How does that sound? I'll do this with you. I have so many of you that say, just help me. I need somebody to walk journey with me. Let's do it. Let's go. Okay. So I'm just going to talk only about the trio here for a minute. I know we already mentioned, the gut primer and the pixie stick and the probiotic and all the stuff, but I want to just focus on the trio for just a second, because I want to focus on blood sugars. If you don't get your blood sugars down, and if you think you have gut issues, if you have IBS, leaky gut, etc., either start with the gut primer and the probiotic or add it to the trio. Okay. Because you do need to get that in absorption into your body either way. Okay. But I just want you to understand. I mean, I could have picked tens of hundreds of testimonies. I could have picked so many, but I just grabbed a few because I want you to understand how sugars can come down and be impacted by filling in, giving your body the raw materials that it needs to actually function. And again, this isn't something I started last week. This was a little over 10 years ago. And because I got my insulin down and my liver functioning, I was able to actually lose weight. So I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. That's how I did it. I view everything through the lens of insulin resistance. Okay, that's how everything is different. So, okay, one testimony, and you can see a bunch of oodles and bunches of testimonies at the top of my Instagram page or on my site, kirstenliebelt.com. There's a whole Google sheet. I love how the trio lowered my glucose morning sugar from 120 to 90. I have a lot of you talking to me about Dawn phenomenon. I can't get my morning sugars down. I can't get my morning sugars down. Well, she did. She did it by using the trio. Here's another one. Oh my goodness, all is working great. I asked her how she was doing. My sugar has dropped almost 30 points. Crazy. Oh yeah. Haven't checked my weight yet, but my sugar, I'm out of town and I did not behave yesterday, meaning how she was eating, and my sugar was still lower. Works really great. I'm excited to see results after being longer on it. Thanks for checking on me. Next one. My my blood glucose, as I mentioned earlier, is unbelievable. Lower than it has been in years. Testing more now so I can convince my doctor to get me off of Met, hopefully in 3 to 6 months if possible. I hate that medicine. Thank you so much for your information. It has made a difference in just 3 weeks. Next one. Now this is one of my favorite testimonies because, and again, I always tell you, hey, Terry, good to see you. They were saying that it's freezing on Facebook, that the connection isn't very good. So you'll have to let me know. It doesn't matter your age, but I do always encourage you guys, listen, if you're my age and I'm 60 or older, share this information with your daughter. Share this with your daughter-in-law. Don't stop talking. My mom didn't stop talking to me, and it changed everything for me. Share this with other people in your world that need to hear this. On the other side of it, though, you're not too late. You're not too old. You're not, okay? So she was 74 when she wrote this to me, okay? And now she did everything. I'm not going to lie. She did the whole system. So if I was going to show you, like, I'll show you here, the gut primer, the pixie stick, the probiotic, and the trio. She did all of this. But she did lose 45 pounds since August 28th, and she's 74. But this is the part that I wanted to read you today, okay? I went to my cardiologist, and he's taking me off of one of my cardiac meds because my blood pressure is stabilizing. He said if I continue to lose weight, he will probably take another one off, which has been my goal all along. I want to check the numbers for sure, but I've lost 45 pounds since August 28th. This was at the end of January. She sent this to me, January 30th. And I'm super excited. I didn't have blood work because he was my cardiologist, but I will have my blood work done when I see my regular doctor. So she's paying attention to all of her numbers, right? And she said that, her non-scale victory, guess what her non-scale victory, you won't guess it. So I'll just tell you, she's keeping up with the 25-year-olds at work. And she just turned 75 in March. So I think what I want to explain to you about that is just remember that when I talk to you about insulin resistance, it is the core. It's the thing to point to. So let's see, you have high blood pressure. Are you insulin resistant? Oh, you have high triglycerides. Are you insulin resistant? Oh, you have fatty liver. Are you insulin resistant? Oh, let's see. You have belly fat that you can't get rid of, and you've gained 40 pounds in the last few years. Are you insulin resistant? Like, this is the causation. Okay. So if you can get this through your head, oh, I should probably pay attention to that hormone insulin. Oh, okay. If I can get she's having trouble. I'm sorry, Terry. I'll I'll have to check the replay and see if it's better. That is the frustration, is that nobody from our providers is telling us this information. We have to do this on our own. We have to do it on our own. But we can link arms. Listen, I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. I completely avoided type 2 diabetes. I should not have. I was gestational with baby number 1, hypoglycemic with baby number 2. My dad died when I was 30. He was type 2 diabetic. I'm Italian. I have type 2 and obesity all over my family. I was insulin resistant for decades before I did anything about it. I should not have avoided type 2, but I did. And I used targeted supplementation. And then I learned how to trade out my food ingredients as an Italian girl. And that's how I lost my 3 sizes. And now I'm not on any meds and I'm 60. I wake up in the morning and I don't ache. I get down on the floor with my grandbabies because I am not inflamed to the freaking moon. So 2 things I teach: targeted supplementation and then food ingredient trade outs. And that's in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Every month we do a 5-day challenge. Every single month we do a 5-day challenge. So I will walk with you on Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, just like we're doing right now. But in the group, we'll do a challenge every month. You will be able to piece those like a train cars, hook them together. And all of a sudden you have a success story that you created for yourself. And congratulations. Now you know how to fish. Now you know the key forever. Nobody can take it away from you. So join my little party going on over here. It's connecting better on YouTube. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for checking. Isn't that just interesting? Sometimes you don't know. I'm so grateful that you checked on there. Yay. Everybody, if this is breaking up, you can go over to YouTube. Anyway, but thank you so much for just joining in today. Yep. And I can see I can't see any comments on Instagram, but I can see people are still there. So I think just the comments are affected. But anyway, okay, so we'll be back here again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Do not forget that tomorrow is the drop of the magnesium launch. So as a registered customer, always make sure you're a registered customer. Do not leave money on the table, okay? As a registered customer, 150 or more subtotal 3 months in a row. And on the 3rd month, you get $75 off. That is a really big deal. So if you're like, okay, I want to be positioned, I want my cart ready to go, except for adding that $34 magnesium tomorrow. And I want to reach and I want to know what to get. Tell me exactly what to get. Help me customize what it is that I need so that I don't just just guess. I don't want to guess. Many of you guys, it's super common for somebody to reach out to me and go, I've been watching you for months now. I've been watching you for a year and I've just been skeptical and I've been unsure and I just don't know exactly what to get. And I just kind of am wavering a little bit. You can reach out to me and tell me that. Did you know? Just let me know so that I can help you customize a little bit. Because sometimes it's just a form of self-sabotage that we're keeping ourselves from certain results just because it's a track that's in our head from a long time ago, usually from children. That's why I always recommend that book, Self-Sabotage No More. But I will help you so that you are ready to go and you can make the best decision. Don't buy things that you don't need, but also don't miss out on the money. So both and then you'll also have free shipping at $139 or more. Now, Canada, if you're a Canadian customer, make sure you register. But everybody go to the top of the page and the person icon, you will be able to click on that and register for your free account with your name. Everybody do that for sure because you want the free shipping. Canada free shipping is at $185 and then the promo is $200, and then you get $100 off that 3rd month. So just a little dollar difference between the United States and Canada. But nonetheless. So have a terrific day, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 11. Magnesium is launching. Let me know if you need anything. I will be available. I'm actually getting ready for a presentation tonight on it. So I'm right in the thick of it. I'm right in the thick of all of the studying and understanding of how amazing this blend is for only $34. It's ridiculous. All right. Have such a great day, you guys. See you tomorrow.